Sexual violence is a term that we use to describe any sexual activity that happens without consent. This can be rape, sexual assault, sexual abuse, or sexual harassment.
Sexual violence can be committed on anyone and by anyone.
But it is a crime that disproportionately affects women and girls, as well as those that identify as transgender or non-binary.
This film seeks to help you and your employers to challenge sexual violence.
To create a safer environment for customers and the wider public.
Whatever your gender identity or sexual orientation.
1 in 4 women in the UK have been raped or sexually assaulted as an adult.
97% of women aged 18 to 24 have been sexually harassed.
It is often only high-profile murder cases that make the headlines. But one reason why violence against women and girls is so common is because sexual harassment and sexist behaviours often go unchallenged.
Women deal with sexual violence every single day through people who don't even recognise that what they're perpetrating is sexual violence. It happens in the workplace, it happens on the street, you know, it happens in any dating environment, it happens online, it happens on social media.
You right?
Yeah?
You're looking good. Got some tips?
No thanks, I'm fine.
Very often men and boys are kind of not part of this conversation, not part of conversation about women and girls' safety. And that kind of does 2 things really. I think for women and girls what it does is it puts all of the responsibility on us to manage and maintain our own safety. And what that does, whether people are aware of it or not, is it often limits our freedoms. It limits our freedom of movement, it limits our freedom of choice, and often means that as women and girls we're not participating fully in the world around us.
So you're training for something?
No.
Don't think she's that into you, mate. Don't worry, I'm getting a number before we leave. That girl, what's her name? Do you have a number?
Sexual violence starts long before you might think. Invasion of personal space, unwanted attention, sexual comments,
Thanks for all your help.
and unwanted touching.
I think the message for myself around bystander complicity is the hypocrisy that goes with it, because so many men wouldn't tolerate comments being made about their own family members, and yet we see all too often there is this complicity and no consideration of what the impact is on the woman or group of women that are there.
Hey, you're gonna give me a number? Don't ignore me. When are you coming to the gym next?
Many people want to help challenge sexual harassment, but it can be hard to know when to intervene.
Every 3 days, a woman is killed by a man in the UK. But many of us don't make a link between these crimes and the sexism and sexual harassment that we witness every day.
Women face gender-based violence through many aspects of their lives,
including in the hospitality, entertainment and leisure industry, in public and at work.
What we do know from research is that predatory offenders find the nighttime economy a really attractive place. It's a bustling environment, there's a lot of social activity going on, and actually approaching somebody who is potentially vulnerable in that environment is not going to necessarily cause an immediate level of concern.
There are people out there that are not just out to enjoy themselves, they're out there to target vulnerable people.
Some of the people I have seen who have been predatory, they go from girl to girl to girl to girl to girl. They play the numbers game, basically. They'll bump into a group and all the way through the town.
You're right.
We know actually that the majority, not a huge majority, but the majority of offenders that approach women from a sexual perspective do it through what we call a con approach.
No here.
They find out a little bit more about the individual, and all the time that they're doing that, they are gauging what's the chances of actually me being able to successfully carry out an attack.
So we're in Tesco's and somebody was to come up to somebody and touch their bottom or try to kiss them, something inappropriate. How would that be dealt with in the daytime economy versus the nighttime economy?
Any fit girls in there tonight?
Sexual violence won't stop until casual sexism like that ends.
And it's very interesting what people accept, what they're willing to accept.
So predatory offenders understand that. They tell researchers that they understand that. So the whole point of what we're doing actually is trying to learn and understand the behaviour of offenders, not just to be able to catch them once they've done it, but actually also to be able to understand the pathway they take to an offence and to work out what the intervention points prior to actually the offence happening.
In the past, women have been made to feel responsible for their own safety.
This is called victim blaming.
From a licensing point of view, you want to protect those things most vulnerable. So I want to say to those people, don't go out and get yourself too drunk. Don't go out and walk in an environment that you know is not well lit. Don't go home in a taxi that you don't know if it's a registered taxi cab. And then somebody said to me, just take the offender away. Do you still need to watch how much you've drunk? Do you still need to watch where you're walking or how you're getting home?
The emphasis and the priority for us is about removing the perpetrator, identifying that perpetrator and preventing them from taking any kind of criminal activity against a victim. Women and girls should feel empowered to go, be it to a local pub, a nightclub, anyone else, catch a taxi, go jogging late at night without the fear of being intimidated, without the fear of attack and without fear of any kind of sexual harassment. A number of people that we've arrested and spoken to recently is, well, I touched her bum in the club. These are offences for which you can go onto the sex offenders register. Touching someone inappropriately in a way that is clearly sexualised is a criminal offence, despite that being an offence for some considerable period of time, is not always well understood by young men, particularly on nights out.
A vodka tonic and a double vodka, please.
I know I need to be aware of sexual predators, but none of us can deal with this on our own.
How far is this guy going to get before one of us intervenes?
Need some help? Are you alright?
It's fine. She's just a bit drunk.
We all need to recognise and challenge predatory behaviour, but as employees we have an extra responsibility.
Doing nothing is not an option.
We need to work together to reduce the risks posed by sexual predators.
Perpetrators of sexual violence can operate in premeditated or opportunistic ways.
They can use a confidence approach to get close to their victim.
Or they can watch and wait until their victim is in a vulnerable situation.
Others may use a position of privilege or authority to commit sexual offences.
We all need to be aware of predatory behaviour
and work to reduce opportunities for perpetrators to commit these offences.
Your workplace should have an understanding of other agencies helping to identify predatory behaviour.
Hello.
That looked pretty unpleasant. You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'll give you my card in case you need me to act as a witness. I'm going to report this incident to the council.
I would like to report an incident of sexual harassment, please.
A reporting procedure for flagging potential predatory behaviour.
There's a guy spiking people. He's still here. Can we get some up here, please?
All right, I'll send Gary up. Go and check it out. It is important that your workplace has a designated welfare officer and that other staff and customers can identify them.
You're right. It's fine. She's just a bit drunk.
If you're faced with a situation where you feel like someone is at immediate risk, you should do one of the following. Can you find a way to delay?
Are you able to delegate to other staff so that you can work safely and effectively?
Are you able to distract to help you to support a colleague or a potential victim?
Are you able to make a direct intervention?
Hey mate, have you got a minute? Can I just have a word? Of course. Do you know that girl?
Yeah, she's my girlfriend.
How long have you been together?
A couple of years now.
You come with her tonight?
Yeah, what's the problem?
No, I just I thought I saw you come earlier and you didn't seem to know her.
Oh no, I must have just started her.
Don't take this the wrong
It's
way.
alright.
Yeah, you sure?
Yeah.
Is that what she's going to say in there?
That guy that took you out.
Where are my friends?
Where are you taking her?
Just back home.
Who's home?
Her home.
Where's she live?
10-15 minutes.
What's the address?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
So how are you going to get her there?
She has it.
Right, okay. Just going to go and ask her the same. Is that right?
It's crucial the fact
Yeah.
that the door team and the SIA trained door staff feel comfortable coming through to us. Not only will we make sure that they're covered by cameras, we can escalate from our point of view.
I think it's really important for the people that are working in that environment, that are trying to protect the public, to understand that what initially might look like a completely innocent, just a happy sort of social interaction, has the potential to actually be something far more sinister.
We have to really promote positive behaviours within the nighttime economy, because there is a clear escalation if men feel that that is acceptable, if they feel that it will go unchallenged and then more seriously unpunished, and if we can't be seen to be stepping in there to take robust steps, that gives an imaginary green light to a lot of these potential offenders.